Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to the Police Softball Podcast. Today is September the 10th, 2020. Got my co-host, Joe Monahan, with me. Thanks again for joining us, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, here's what I say is let's get people a few minutes to join in. I know people are interested. I know it's 12:04, so there you go. It went from 7 to 16. So I know that there's a lot of people who are going to want to tune into this one. So let's give them just a couple of minutes. Plus, because of the timing, there's probably a lot of dudes at work, so they got the time, man. They're gonna be tuning in today, I think. It's not like at home when you got to make dinner or clean the house or trim the trees or whatever the hell you do during our damn show. But at least now we're trying it in the afternoon, and I think it's gonna be good.
Hey, while we're waiting for a few people to join up, you mind if I talk about the Chicago tournament this weekend that we just played in, just for a little bit, real quick?
I don't mind, but I do want to make a note that we're going to highlight that tournament again with like some pictures and videos. We don't have any of that on this particular show, but yes, you can.
I just wanted to just mention that how Dan, basically was handed a bad hand where he was forced out of the Chicago area because of restrictions and whatnot, and ended up securing a field over in Gary, Indiana, minor league stadium. And it was a small amount of teams in on one field, but it turned out to be, a great day of softball. It was like 80 degrees. It was beautiful out, sunny. And it was just a great time, great atmosphere. And I appreciate what he did to get that event, put it on. I did a great job, and like you said, we've got a bunch of videos and pictures and stuff that we'll show on the next podcast. But I just wanted to mention that and let Dan know that I was appreciative of him, the hard work that he put in to get that going.
Tell you what, Dan, he's one of those standouts in the circuit, in my opinion. Now, I know there are a lot of standouts. I just haven't had the opportunity to work with as many people as I've had with you and Dan and the likes of those. So I can say from personal experience, the dude's a standout in my eyes when it comes to our circuit. And again, it's not just for his willingness to always show up and do something, to contribute. But he does it in the community in which he serves also. And I really love that about that man, So shout out to you, Dan, and we will be highlighting that on our next episode. So I know that we've got, I'm gonna let it get up a little bit more. We've got 21 viewers right now. And so let's see here. We've got Lyle Reyes. What's going on, son? HOF. That's what I'm talking about. And Jay Garcia, my boy. Hey, Jay. All right, man. Got with the technology, huh? He's tuning in on YouTube. That's awesome. And so what I will tell people is if you get, go ahead, Deanna, go ahead and show me what you got. Let me see what you got here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We'll do my intro. I think we will get to that. And I know that most people are most people who are tuning in today will know who I am, but still we'll make it a point to introduce ourselves. Stu Donaldson. What's up, man? Good morning. It's good afternoon here, but morning over there, I guess. Yeah, God, look at that dude. Holy smokes. Yeah, he's one of those dudes like I talk about when you go to the World Series events. There's dudes like Joe Monahan standing around, Stu Donaldson, and I love coming back to San Antonio. I've said it before. I'm a tall dude here. All right, so hey, listen. Let's see. What do we got? It's 4 minutes. I'm gonna give him till 5 minutes, and that's about less than 20 seconds. What up, Luis? That's what I'm talking about, Lou. He says, "What's up, boys? Looking good in the AM also." Dude, I couldn't sleep. I woke up like at 5 something, so I got my workout in early. I'm ready to go. Joe, did you work out today? You look like your traps are all bulging out, or at least your left one is.
No, yeah, that's just because I got my hand on my lap here. But but no, I work out after my shift, so I worked out about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Lyle said, "Joe, smile, bro."
Sorry, Lyle.
Yeah.
A lot of people tell me that I don't smile enough, but
yeah. Danny Woods joining us. What's up, Danny Woods? Yeah, man. Hey, so I'll tell you what. I know you guys know who I am, but just in case somebody's tuning in, because we do have people who are interested in supporting the tournament or the things that we're doing in the future. So I will just introduce myself real quick. I am Trinidad. I was a United States Air Force veteran, 23-year law enforcement veteran, two-time cancer survivor, a franchise business owner of biotechs, crime scene cleaning, and a nonprofit founder with our organization called Shields for Kids. As far as police softball is concerned, I am the coach of the San Antonio Law men's competitive softball team. We've won a couple national titles, a Chevy Wright Sportsman of the Year, Pat Hill Inspiration Award winner, and the Texas Police Athletic Foundation and PS.com Hall of Fame. So that's who I am. But we need to keep adding to my partner's title here. Let's see. Joe Monahan is a
There's
coach.
nothing to add, man. That's about it right there.
Hey, you know what, Deanna? Will you do me a favor and just put my friend at the beginning? And then coach of the Missouri Lawmen. He's the director of the Show Me Classic. He's the Louisville Slugger Masters Division coach. He's the East Conference Manager of the Year, the Texas Showdown Home Run Derby champ, and possibly, what do you call your golf tournament, Joe?
It's just the annual Missouri Lawman golf tournament.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah. So we're going to have that tournament coming up. But he is the long drive winner in that golf tournament also.
Now,
that's coming up soon.
It's not that tournament because I can't play in that tournament because I'm running around like crazy. But there's other tournaments in St. Louis area that I have.
Say it. I know you don't like to brag about yourself, but say it.
I don't give a shit what kind of swing you're showing off on the podcast. I'm telling you what I've done, and I got people that were there to witness it. So,
Shane, answer up. I'll believe Shane if Shane tells me, because Shane will tell me the truth.
And Shane's usually golfing with me, so he was there for probably the majority of them. So.
All right. Yeah, we got Dan McIntyre said workout. What the heck is that? I know you work out, Dan. I've seen you at Joe's tournament selling those shirts off your back, literally. It's got to be what you're doing. That's why you're walking around with no shirt on. But all right. Hey, look, we got 31 viewers. That's awesome. I know people are very interested in what's going on. First and foremost, so I want to let you guys know that there's a lot of great efforts going into this. I mean, we're talking, just at around 30 days of really trying to make this thing happen. And first and foremost, I want to bring Deanna on. Come on, Deanna. She didn't plan on it. But Deanna is here, and you might hear me refer to Deanna, but I'll tell you that Joe knows, and people that work with us know that Deanna's behind the scenes. She does a ton for us. And I can tell you, if you get the opportunity at the tournament, regardless of whether it's in Vegas or if it's here in Waxahachie, in Texas, please let Deanna know that you appreciate her efforts, because she won't ask for it. She'll stay in the background, but she needs to be out there. So Deanna, from me to you, and I know from Joe, we really appreciate not only what you're doing for us, but Shields for Kids, for Biotechs, for Trinidad, for the Keepers of the Peace Conference, for everything. Thank you so much. You are definitely a part of my stability.
I'm glad I can help.
Yeah.
Thanks, Deanna.
Yeah.
That's all she'll say. All right. Well, all right. So on that note, Joe, Dan, Benji, I know that there were multiple people who were involved with trying to find fields. And so thank you guys very much for all the efforts. I know we made a lot of calls, tried to find something just in case the World Series doesn't work out in Vegas. And so seriously appreciate the effort. I know you'll never say it, nor will the other guys. So I'm thanking you myself. Clemente Reyna from Houston Heat. Got to give him a shout out like I did in that video, because that dude, he has a tournament he puts on a different part of the year. He was willing to try to make that thing happen at BLD there in Houston. And all he had at the time was a verbal, but he still was willing to make that thing, happen. We had some run-ins with I shouldn't say run-ins. It's not a good word. We had complications because I already had league night. Obviously, it's such short notice. And we talked about it before, and we'll get into it in another show. But in the end, the main thing I want to get across is that Clemente, his heart was in the right place, and his intent was in the right place. And so, Clemente, thank you very much for that effort, man. And I think now we can get into this. So let's see. What do I want to start with first? How about making sure that we get this clarified, and that is we're still waiting to hear, from Vegas, from Nevada, to find out if they're going to open up the city for us. Jeff Blair with PS.com, of course, is he's the one that they put a lot of work already into it. So it's not like this thing, it's not like they didn't already put work into it. And so they're waiting, trying to find out, hey, is this thing going to go or not? And we all want Vegas. It's what we're used to. It's what we're comfortable with. So I want to make sure everybody knows, no matter what we're talking about, it's contingent on whenever Jeff makes that announcement. He's slated it for tomorrow, I believe, September the 11th is what he's slated.
Said, end of business tomorrow, 11 answer.
Okay, so then that's what we're waiting on. But we've got a plan because there's a lot that goes into it. A lot has already gone into it. And so to continue, we have to have some cutoff point. So we appreciate, Jeff making that concession and calling it on that date to allow us to have time to make this happen. Okay, so what we were able to find are some fields that are in Waxahachie, Texas. And this, first off, is that give you an idea of where Waxahachie is. Well, let's get back to the name, Deanna, real quick. First thing is we're naming this tournament, if again it doesn't go, we're naming this tournament the Keepers of the Peace National Softball Championship. And I'll tell you what, when we talk about the message thread, so let me explain to you what we got. Keepers of the Peace. We can bring up the conference we've got on April of 2021. We have April the 12th through the 14th here in San Antonio, Texas. This conference is a game changer when it comes to conferences for first responders. It's a badass conference with badass breakout sessions for police, fire, military, and EMTs. We've got tickets on sale right now, and we'll get into that later. We have an opportunity leading up to the tournament to be able to tell you about this. But what I will tell you is this tournament, or this conference, is we're trying to bring attention to the conference through this tournament. It's a wonderful opportunity that's come up because ultimately we're gonna be saving some people's lives. There's a lot that we go through as first responders, and in this conference we're gonna have a lot of fun with a lot of cool breakout sessions, like working out with the SAPD SWAT competition team, work out and shoot with the SAPD SWAT competition team, jiu-jitsu seminars. We're gonna have Hoist Gracie on here soon. He's going to be coming onto the podcast, and he's just waiting to find out if his Bellator contract is going to allow him to come out. But he is. Y'all don't know this about, or I didn't. I knew it, but I didn't know he's been a multiple reserve officer in multiple states. And so, man, I was just super impressed when I found out about the Gracies and in particular Hoist and his passion for wanting to be a part of what it is that we do. And that's not just law enforcement, it's corrections, it's military, it's fire, it's EMTs. And that's who this conference is for. So we're real excited because he's willing to host a jiu-jitsu seminar here in San Antonio. So we're working on a bunch of cool things, man. Working on a golf tournament, working on a bunch of cool things that on the last day of the conference, we're going to have outside the hotel breakout sessions. So it'll go, the first day will be in the hotel, it'll be primary speakers, and it'll be vendors. Gives you time to go around and do stuff. We'll bring you back afterwards for a comedy show from Travis Howes, which is one of our speakers that we've signed to this point. You can check out one of our Keepers of the Peace podcasts. Dude was a policeman, fireman, and in the military. Has an awesome story. We've got some of his books. We'll bring that up later. To Create Your Own Light, he's finding post-traumatic purpose. And his therapy is comedy. So he's a professional comedian, so it's great stuff. So we're going to bring you back. We'll have a comedy show. Then on the second day, we'll have in-hotel breakout sessions. And then we'll bring you back. Right now, we're slated for an exhibition bodybuilding competition. So Lyle Reyes, I know you know what I'm talking about. He says, are retirees allowed to attend the conference? Absolutely. In fact, Deanna, can we please make that note for it's all active duty and retired first responders? So great question, Lyle. Thank you for asking it. So yeah, we'll bring you back. And then on the third day, that's where we're going to have the outside of the hotel breakout sessions. And we've got some really cool stuff. So man, it's a conference like you've never experienced before. We'll move on to the tournament stuff. That's what you're here for. But you need to know that along with those things, we're going to have in-hotel breakout sessions that are really going to make a difference in first responders' lives. And we need to take care of our mental health before we can take care of other people's mental health. And so we're going to have some speakers and some inside hotel breakout sessions that are going to concentrate on that. We'll get more into it later. So that's the name of our tournament. I think it's a great cause, and I'm happy to bring attention to it. All right, so now where is this tournament at? So we're going to focus on Waxahachie, Texas. And you're probably wondering not only how to spell it, but also where it's at. So we're going to show you. This is going to be, this is the Waxahachie Sports Complex. We've played multiple tournaments there. We just played not too long ago. As you can see, there we go. Hey, so that's a DFW fire team. And us, we made it to the championship with them, and we took a picture with these guys. So you get an idea what the fields are like. You can see the dirt and all. It reminds me of St. Louis, Joe. It reminds me of your complex in St. Louis. It's cool because we've got, the concrete there where you're able to, walk around. If we were to experience some rain or whatever, you're not walking through a bunch of mud or anything. And so I think it's a nice complex. You can see the grass. It does look like that. So it is a nice complex. I do want to also say that, so we're going to show a picture of just like the little hangout area in the middle, and you'll be able to see one of our sponsors, Biotex. Biotex, Audrey and the crew at Biotex Crime Scene Cleaning. They're going to be there again, like they were at this tournament, to provide some cool stuff. We'll get into it later, but that's a little area that we hang out at. And let's keep going. Oh, got a little video real quick of just some action shots. So that's a little bit of what the fields look like. And I did tell you there were going to be action shots. I just didn't tell you they were both going to be of me. It worked out that way because we had limited video.
Hey, Trey, let me mention one thing real quick. So I spoke with William Bird, who is the U-Trip, the Northern Texas U-Trip director, and he puts on several tournaments there in Waxahachie. He mentioned that the grounds crew there is one of the best he's worked with. He's also a director in Georgia as well, and he says that all the complexes that he holds events, tournaments at, this is one of the best grounds crews around, and so that kind of makes you feel a little bit better in case we do run into any issues there.
Yeah, man, and we've had some rain when we played there, and I mean, nothing's like a BLD field as far as dealing with the rain, but it's pretty good, man. Yeah, I was really surprised one time when we played there and came out the next day, so it was good. So the fields are pretty good. Now we'll get into where Waxahachie is. I think we're good with the fields. So let's find out where Waxahachie is. So you're going to be flying into Dallas DFW. So we got a little slide there. There's DFW. And you'll be flying into DFW, and it's 50 minutes to. Can we bring that back up? It's 50 minutes to Waxahachie, and we're going to get into a few more items later. But let's go into the next slide, whichever one you want, Deanna, and we'll just so that they know about. We're going from. There you go. So from Waxahachie, Texas, from Dallas, Texas, from the center of Dallas, it's 32 to 56 minutes, depending. And, depending on which route you go, why wouldn't you go the 32, right? But, and then you have Arlington, that's 45 to 55 minutes away. And we'll tell you why we're bringing up both of those places. You're still going to fly into Dallas, but, let's see. What are you saying, Deanna? Let's see. Go ahead, Deanna. Come on over. You can tell us.
Hey,
go ahead. Let me get this, Joe, real quick, because Deanna can tell us real quick. She tries to tell me on the side, but sometimes it's difficult for her.
No, the only thing I'm saying is there might be tolls. That might be why it's 32.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So tolls. So, hey, man, if you don't mind paying the fees and you want to stay in Dallas, you can, and it'll take 32 minutes to get there. So that's not bad. But we're going to have some information on Dallas here in just a second as far as where to stay, things of that sort. So it's not that bad. Go ahead,
another
Joe.
thing, you mentioned DFW. There's also flights into Dallas Love, which is a little bit closer to Waxahachie by about 20 minutes. But So there is a couple different options as far, and I don't know which one is going to be cheaper for whatever part of the country to fly into. But I know the St. Louis area, Dallas Love is the cheapest for us to fly into.
All right, so we'll make that note. We'll add that on there, and so we'll add that on. So Dallas Love and DFW, two different airports. See, maybe it'll make a difference from where you're coming from. All right, so what do we got next, Deanna? Let's see here. I think we went from the location. Oh, okay. So now we're going to talk about, because we're going to get to the details here in a minute, but the one thing I want to explain to you guys is as far as hotels, we just started working on this, and we've been working our day shift on this. It's difficult to get things back in such a short amount of time. You usually have months and months to prepare, and so trying to get something is difficult to time crunch. But we do have we have two hotels that are within, I think it's 1.5 miles of the fields. So we'll bring up the first one that we do have a room block at. This is the Fairfield Inn and Suites. It's Dallas, Waxahachie. I think it's just 3 years old, so it's still a pretty new hotel, and it's 5 minutes from Waxahachie Complex. Right now, we have a 20 room block, but 7 of them are already gone. So they've worked with us, and they said, hey, look, if you can get your people to call in and start getting some of these rooms, we'll definitely up it. So make sure that we're going to be sending out a link. So let me concentrate on this part. There are two hotels we've got some information for you. This one's the one with the room block. So if you call up right now and you tell them about the Keepers of the Peace National Softball Championship, am I right, Deanna? They can say that? Okay. They'll have your room block, get your room reserved. Even if you're not sure and you think you're going to come, you can always cancel it. So get your room now. That way it gives them an opportunity while the availability is still there if you want to stay at the Fairfield Inn. And they will up it as soon as they start getting people calling in. They will up it. We will include a link, and we will talk about it in the next podcast, but we will include a link in the details. So that's one. The second one that's real close to the complex is the Hampton Inn and Suites. It's right across the street, I believe. And right now, we haven't had a room block set up yet, but they are saying it'll be somewhere between 84 to 89 a night. So we're working on them as we speak. Hopefully they'll get back with us as soon as possible, and we'll be able to secure a room block there. And now, if you're interested in just coming to Waxahachie, and let me explain something to you. Can we bring up that slide that shows about the Waxahachie, the logo? Remember you had a slide, Deanna, and it had the Waxahachie logo in the middle? Okay, she's going to bring it up here in just a little bit. And so we'll bring up a comment that Audrey has. And if I remember correctly, there is a Whataburger across the street from the fields. If you've never had it, you guys got to try it. If you guys haven't had Whataburger, I've had multiple dudes in California, guys, you're going to be pissed. But I've had multiple dudes that have come from California, like one of them that plays on our team. It took a little while, but he switched over and said that it's better than In-N-Out burgers. So I don't know. You have to come and check it out yourself, but it's a great burger. All right, so we'll work on that one slide, but so those are the two hotels. Now, as far as entertainment, so the reason I wanted to bring up that one slide was because Waxahachie is not the entertainment capital of the world. We got fields for you. That's what we wanted to do, and we wanted to get good fields. We got them. So, if you're interested in staying, there are other hotels in the area. You can jump online, look up Waxahachie. There's La Quinta. There's a bunch of those. Those are the two that we saw that were newer, that are in the area. So, that's our recommendation. I can only tell you what I know. Now,
Trini, one more thing. I searched online, and there were several in the area that if you get the government rate, it's roughly $95 a night, which is cheap. It ended up being about, I think, $30 or $40 cheaper a night getting the government rate. So if you just search online, you'll find something and decent deals with government rates at local hotels over in that area.
That'll work. Stu, I'm telling you, it's true. So I'll give you an example of what I order in the next podcast, and you can try it. You'll like it, I promise. I'll tell you. All right, so it's not the entertainment capital of the world, but there are plenty of places to stay around if you want to just hang out and be able to. Let's see, she's saying I'm blurry. I think. No. Oh, the pictures. That's okay. That's all right, Deanna. Bring it up anyway. All right. Well, she'll bring it up in a minute. So, all right. So, what I want to do is I want to bring up that. Now, I'm going to get into the next podcast. I'll get in more into Waxahachie because we have been there and there are some really cool places that I visited that I like. So, we'll go there later. What I will suggest is in Arlington. We're going to bring up in Arlington right now. Now, Arlington is where the Dallas Cowboys have their football stadium and the Texas Rangers have their baseball stadium, and they're right next to each other. So as you can imagine, they are, go ahead, ready with that Waxahachie picture? Yeah. So you can see that it's the crepe myrtle capital and the gingerbread city. So you already know when you see that, there's not a lot going on there, man. So that's why I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to give you an entertainment option. So let's go to Arlington. Arlington, as far as the distance, we showed it earlier. It's not that far, man. It's like, 45 minutes, 46 minutes. But check this out. Let's bring up Arlington. Okay, I know. Yeah, there we go. So in Arlington, they have this place called Arlington Backyard. We're going to show you a video real quickly. This is a place that I would say there's a bunch of restaurants. The Six Flags over Texas is there. It's an older Six Flags, but it's there. There's a bunch of cool places, but this is similar to the place, if y'all have ever been to Joe's tournament, it opened in 2019, by the way. It's brand new. But in Joe's tournament, that's where he normally hosts his party. They have a similar thing there in St. Louis. What's it called, Joe?
It's in St. Louis at the Ballpark Village. It's live at Ballpark Village. And if you've ever been to the Kansas City tournament, they have one there as well in the Power and Light District. It's live at the Power and Light District. Same developer developed all these locations, and they all have similar bars, PBR bars, and stuff like that.
Well, let's show that video for the guys that are thinking, hey, I want to be around where there's things to do, and I'm willing to make that drive. You want to show them that video real quick? Yeah, man. So as you can tell, that's nice. What we're in the process of doing is finding out exactly what's open, what's not, whatever. But in a lot of those places, they serve food, and that's like the big stipulation. As long as they serve food, they'll serve alcohol. Bars are typically closed, but we're going to verify maybe something different in this establishment. But that is a consideration. Go on your Google Earth or your maps, and you'll see all the things that are there in Arlington if that's an option you want. So other than that, we're going to come with you if you want to stay in Dallas, because we have had a few people say, hey, I want to stay in Dallas. So we'll go to some of the highlights real quick. Is in Dallas, there is also a place in, can you show them that? Check this out. It's a Dallas Cowboy training facility in Frisco, Texas. So you can go there. It's really unique. Look it up. It's a long ways away. So my suggestion is, if you wanted to go there maybe after the tournament, or you want to show up early and check it out, that's a cool place. Frisco is really nice, really developed, high end. So it's all nice stuff. And then there's also a place called the Legacy. This place, the Shops and Legacy, that's where I go every time I go to Plano, as my sister-in-laws live there. So we go out. This is a really cool place to visit, man. And if you're planning on and making a trip out of it, have you ever seen a Tommy Bahama store with a restaurant? Because I hadn't. I love that restaurant, and there's tons of shops, tons of restaurants and bars, and a lot of places there serve food. So it's like everything's open. So that's an option for you at the Shops and Legacy. That's north of Dallas, though. I would only say stay there if you're interested in having a good time before or after, because it's a long ways away. Okay, so as far as entertainment stuff, I will just say I can't tell you unless I've been there and done that, because I don't want to lead you the wrong way. We had an idea brought to our attention, and when we did some research, we found out maybe that it wasn't the best area with recent events. So I'm just going to tell you what I know, but we will definitely bring up, we're going to get to that here in just a second, but I definitely will bring that up in later broadcasts. Which, by the way, if you're going to want to stay up with the real-time information and extra things that you're going to want to know about the tournament, please go to my channel on YouTube. Even if you create some fake name or whatever, it doesn't matter. Here's how you do it. This is what supports me, man. If you go to Trinidad, you'll go to the filter. You'll look for the channel type. You'll hit my vacation photo there or subscribe there. And then you'll hit the subscribe button. Then to the right's the notification bell. This is the most important part. Hit the top part for all. Hit the top bell. That way you'll get your notifications. Okay, so we're at 31 minutes. Planned on this for an hour, so we're going to get into the details. But you will be able to support what I'm trying to accomplish with a lot of things by going to the YouTube channel, subscribing there, and tuning in on YouTube. Thank you for your support in that. Okay, so we're going to go into the details. One thing's very important to remember is we're in the process of making this happen. We found the fields. We are now in the process. Joe is handling a majority of that. I say majority, pretty much all of it, but he's got input from me and Dan and other guys like that. What's going on, Tyler? Morning, eh? So he's working a lot of these details out, but we're coming together and we're developing these things. So we don't have all the answers yet. They're coming your way. Joe, you wanna hit the details?
Well, I'll start with what everyone's probably wondering: the cost.
Let's bring up the screen with you. There you go.
So cost is going to be the same as the World Series. We're going to stick with the $550 a team. Everyone was anticipating that anyway for the World Series. But if that's not going to happen, we're going to continue to keep that the same rate. We're not going to increase it or anything like that. And we're going to set up we're going to have a registration online. There'll be a link that we'll post on the thread on the ps.com message board. That'll give you a way to pay online, and it's not on there yet. But once everything's determined that we are going to be going forward with Waxahachie, the tournament down in Texas, then we'll go ahead and make those posts online so people can get going on the registration and stuff like that. Eligibility rules are going to be similar to the World Series. Again, we want to try to keep everything,
Hey, real quick, Joe, do me a favor. Yes, Deanna, if you don't mind, so the focus is on us. Here's what I'll tell you is one of the things we want to talk about is that we're going to try to we're going to have a couple of charities there. And so some of that, some things we're trying to do is also continue to raise money for these charities that we're supporting. So I just wanted to throw that little note in there. All right, now as he goes to the next thing, Deanna, will you bring that up? And then as he reads that first line or whatever, then bring it back down. All right, we'll keep going.
And to add on to what you just said, Trini, so if there is a large number of teams that end up showing up, and when this goes forward in Waxahachie, and there's extra proceeds from the entry fees, those are going to be going to the charities that we support through the tournament. Just so you guys know that.
Yeah.
So as far as eligibility rules, we want to try to keep it the same as the World Series as well. Guys are looking for this year-end tournament, and we're going to try to give it to them if the World Series doesn't happen. And we will. And if they were expecting the two-state rule, the two-state adjoining rule, we're going to keep it that way. The eligibility, as far as being a full-time or retired police, corrections, probation, parole, that's all going to be the same. IDs are going to be checked at the fields, and wristbands will be handed out once you're checked in at the fields. If we move on to the next,
real quick, Joe. Also,
yeah,
I just want to. I'll break in whenever you're done.
yep,
On your points. Just so you know, there's not a gate fee. So we will on the first day. You know, there will be. I think we have 6 fields total, and I think 4 of them. On the first day, the cool part is that's the only day we deal with any league nights, but it's going to be, I think it's only like 4 fields that are used past 6 o'clock. But that's our round robin day anyway, so we should be. We're going to
3
be
fields
good.
past 6.
Okay, yeah.
On Wednesday, but we'll be good with that on the first day.
And then the rest of the time we're not going to have any issues. So, but what I am going to say is it's outdoors, so there's no restrictions and there's no fee to get in. And you can bring your ice chest. I know a lot of people are flying in, but some people bring ice chests if they want to. Set up tents. I mean, it's our park at that point, so we're good with that. All right, let's keep going.
All right, so going to the next point, a lot of people always curious what's going on with bats and balls for the tournament. This will be a bat-provided event. Bats right now, we're working on that. We've been in touch with a couple different options, and we don't have that set just yet, but if this does end up going through, we're going to make that post as well. But just know that it will be bat provided one way or the other, and you won't have to bring your bats with you. You know, there's not going to be any bats allowed on the field. If you need to bring some for BP or something like that beforehand, I get it. But just similar to the World Series again, there's not going to be any bats allowed on the field other than the provided bats.
And Jay, I know Jay, I'm having trouble remembering, but Jay or somebody from the team, is there are places to warm up, correct? Outside of the fields? If you can just comment, let me know if there's a comment through the comments if there's a place. But I'm almost positive that there are, because there's I think there's soccer fields and a few other things out there. So there are places to warm up out there just for you, so you guys will know.
When I looked at the entire complex on Google Map, I think I saw several soccer fields, big open areas, and I'm guessing during the weekdays there's not going to be anybody out using those fields.
Yeah.
So there will be places to hit BP prior to your games.
Cool.
Moving on to the next point, going along with the bats is the balls. So the balls will be need to be purchased from the complex, basically. You're not bringing your own balls. We're not hitting. Everyone's hitting different balls. We're all hitting the same ball. They're going to be 52 300 composite tattoos that are sold at the complex for $5 a piece, 60 a dozen, and they will have I think it's WSC for Waxahachie Sports Complex. There'll be a stamp on there so everyone knows that it's the legit ball that we're supposed to be using for the tournament. So it shouldn't be any mix-ups with that. Another thing that we talked about, similar to the World Series, during registration, when you guys show up and you're registering your team and everything, you will get 2 balls to start with registration, and then you can go purchase more from the complex itself.
One thing I'll make a note of is, at BLD, you hit the ball out. I've never had any returned. At this place, you can get your own. So that's kind of
Trini. That's because you hit walk-off home runs and you're celebrating after.
Yeah. Well, I can't find them, so I'm telling you, it's going to be cool because you can retrieve them if you want to. There are certain parts where they're like the home runs hit into the parking lot, so you can retrieve your ball, but those might go a little way. So soccer and football fields, or do it like Texas team and use the parking lot. Yeah, it's true. Hey, Daniel says, so bringing the 2 boxes of Thunder ZNs are out. Rick Torelli, what you think?
That was Ballgate back in St. Louis between Midwest Heat and NYPD Blues when they snuck a illegal ball on the field. I don't think they really snuck it, but it was an accident.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what he's referring to, I believe, right there.
All right. So where are we at?
We'll move on to the next point, and that's going to be the USSSA umpires. They will be certified umps. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I spoke with William Bird, who is the Northern Texas UTRIP director, and he's got me in touch with several. He's got a list of 100 U-trip umps that he uses.
Trump. U-trip trumps, huh? How many of y'all like that? That's what I'm talking about.
U-trip umps that he uses, and he said he's got some of the best around. So he's putting me in touch with several umpires, and we're gonna have good U-trip umpires at all the games. Let's see. So if you want to move on to the next one, you got anything to say about that one, Trini?
No, I think that was an important thing to do. I mean, we were contacted early on when we brought it up, and that was like a big concern is, hey, are we going to have legit umps? And I think that's the comfort with everybody knowing that at least having guys within our circuit running this substitute or however you want to call it, backup tournament, that, hey, we're not going to be, something's not coming out of left field on us. I mean, it's going to be run what we come to expect within the limitations of the fields and things of that sort. So, but anyway, we'll keep going.
So going to the next point, the U-trip rules. So I'm going to run down some of these rules, the ones that guys are typically wanting to know what we're going to be doing. That being said, these will be, like I said, once we move forward and if Vegas is canceled and we move forward with Waxahachie, I will make a post on the thread listing all these rules. But we'll start with, it's going to be the one-on-one count, no courtesy fouls, 6 home runs and then outs. The retouch rule will apply on both corners. There'll be 1 re-entry allowed, 1 courtesy runner per inning being the last out. No exceptions to that. The run rule is going to be 20-15-12 after 3, 4, and 5, except in the championship and if games, and those will be 20 after 5. Let's see. The double elimination bracket seating will be based on pool play results. And I'll get into the bracket and pool play here shortly, but pool play is going to determine your seating and bracket, and that's going to be determined by record, then runs allowed, then run differential, runs scored, and if by chance there's teams that have the same of all 4 of those, we'll flip a coin. In every game, the home team is going to be decided by coin flip, except for the championship games, where the undefeated team is going to be awarded home if that's what they want. If it goes to an if game, you're going back to a coin flip at that point. All ties will be played out as a normal inning. There's not going to be any extra runners, or you're playing with 2 outs and a man on second. It's just you're playing the inning as if you would a normal inning. Those are all the main rules that I wanted to just touch on. The other ones are going to be typical USSSA rules: pitching height, distance, all that stuff. So, but we will make a post once everything's finalized as far as if Vegas is going to happen and if we are going to go forward with Waxahachie. I'll make that post and we'll list all the rules for everybody to print out if they need to bring a copy with them to the tournament.
Yeah, cool. So I know that when you do that, we're gonna put some stuff up there on that thread. But like I said, I mean, things that we can't, because it takes a lot of time, and so things that maybe we don't include on the thread. That's why it's so important to tune into the podcast, because we'll have multiple podcasts. I don't think we're just gonna do one a week. If we end up doing this, we're gonna keep you up to date. And things are developing all the time, and just to make it a little easier on us, instead of having to get on there and type stuff up and everything else, we'll probably just put it out like this. So anyway, we'll keep going.
All right, getting on to the next point there, the time limits for pool play and bracket formats. At this point, we really can't give you a direct answer. This is the way it's going to be, because we have no clue what number of teams we're going to have. Are we going to have 20 teams? Or are we going to have 50 teams? I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere in the 24 to 36 range.
Let's tell them why real quick. Deanna, can you bring that up real quick? If for those of you that aren't on the ps.com message board, on the message thread, we've got it under, and I don't know what the title, but I know, Deanna, you had didn't you have a picture of the teams that to this point? Oh, you had a list. Let's see your list. That's what it is. There we go. So as of right now, these are the teams that have sent us messages. Now, some of them, like for instance, Houston Hustle, they're still trying to get their guys together. Mandy's trying to get those guys together, and they're trying to find out, but they want to make it. So right now they're tentative. We're going to do that same thing. Joe, you correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to do that same thing where, everything that we love about the World Series is the structure of it, the way it's run, everything else. So we're going to try to emulate that, not trying to be it. We're just trying to emulate the things that work and that we've known to love about the tournament that those guys put on. So that being said, on that message thread, we will start to put things like tentative, and that's where I need you to go. And so during, when you're watching this podcast, do us a favor, even if you're not sure, it's cool to let us know. We'll put tentative by your name. We will do what's already being done. And that is, I need a manager or somebody who's a representative of the team to take responsibility for that post. Because, we don't want to run into issues of doing all this work and then people are backing out. It screws everything up. So we want somebody out there that'll take responsibility. And then the other thing will be, we'll put paid, and also we want to be able to keep track of that on the message. But again, if you can, I'll just make the point now, please let us know. Let us know on the message thread on ps.com that you're what your intention is. If you're thinking about it, whatever, and that's how we'll move forward.
So getting back to the time limits and the bracket, like I said, we can't give you a direct answer right now, but the plan is once we get a solid number of teams, we're gonna put that out on the message board. The plan is that there regardless of what the bracket format is, there won't be any time limits in the double elimination brackets. Pool play, there's going to be some kind of a time limit, whether it's 60 minutes or 70 minutes. We'll figure that out by the number of teams that we have. That being said, while we don't know what the bracket format's going to be for double elimination, there will be uppers, there will be lowers. How that's going to work out is going to be determined by how many teams we get and what that list is looking like. So I think we'll have a better idea as far as the bracket and the time limits, maybe in about a week to a week and a half from now, probably about 10 days from now, we probably have a better idea what we'll be looking at. But once we determine that, we'll make a post on the thread on ps.com, and everyone will be told exactly what we're doing. But just know that there won't be time limits for bracket play. There will be uppers, there will be lowers, and there will be pool play that leads into the brackets. What time limit's going to be on that is going to be determined by the number of teams.
All right, real quickly, we got Jay-Z. Complex mandate those balls.
I'm not. What's he asking as far as if they're saying we have to use those balls?
We'll find out. Jay-Z, let us know, man. A little clarification on the question, and then what I love is that like what you said. That's why I didn't know you were gonna say that, but it went. I said it ahead of time. It's so important to let us know in advance, man. Let us know now. I mean, we're all hoping, fingers are crossed for Vegas. I mean, we all want that. So without a doubt, we understand that you're just letting us know your intention. But man, it really, every day counts for us to continue to work towards this so that we can get some answers to you guys and you'll know what you're getting. So, all right, we'll keep going. And when Jay-Z comes back with his clarification, we'll.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next point, which is going to be the rosters. Similar to the World Series, we want to do it the same way, just to make it, everyone was anticipating there being rosters. We're going to continue that way for the year-end tournament. Keep it the same way if it does move to Waxahachie. So basically, we're going to need every team who's going to be showing up, who's going to be in attendance, to complete a full roster with full names, the agency, the position of the agency, and turn those in. Again, we're going to put those details out once everything's determined. If it moves to Waxahachie, we're going to have the registration link. We're going to put up the how you're going to be turning in the rosters and details like that. But we're just kind of giving you a heads up to what to look forward to or what's going to be happening if it does move forward to Waxahachie.
Yeah. And Jay-Z sent back this. Those are ASA balls, no?
I don't know. It's the ball. It's the complex ball, and he says they're great. He said they're great balls, and it just makes it easier on everybody as far as I'm concerned. If you got the complex with the complex stamp, just like I do in St. Louis with the BMAC balls, they got a BMAC stamp on them. Everyone purchases the same ball. Everyone uses the same ball. It's a level playing field. Whether you're using a rock up there, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Everyone's using the same ball. That's what matters. Everyone's using the same ball. Everyone's using the same bats. We should be fine.
Yeah. And one of the things I'll just emphasize is that we are. This is like I said, man. I can't say it enough. And I think the cool part about this is that most people who are tuning in, or most people who will tune in, they understand what we're facing as far as the time crunch and just trying to make it happen. So the cool part is we definitely want to get everything out as quickly as possible, but we need to make sure that we've thought it all through. And the key, I got you. The key comment is going to be the key comment. The key to this whole thing is how many teams. I think that's probably going to be what help us really figure out the rest of everything. So that's the importance of that. So Stu says, will Cali's fire season have an impact smoke on Vegas? I don't know about that one.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I wonder if I know
I know they're battling some major fires out there. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the news, but I don't know anything how that impacts Vegas. I know I think I saw how it impacts big cities like Los Angeles out in California, but I've never seen an effect on Vegas. I guess that would make sense if you got that much smoke traveling.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would affect it though.
Yeah. Deanna, I'm not sure if there was anything else maybe that I've missed or anything, but I will tell you that I don't want to say it right now because I just don't. But I will tell you that you have the freedom to bring things into the park, and there will be some cool things that we're going to have there available for you that are of the adult entertainment when it comes to beverages. It's the best way I think I can put it. So we can't get into it right now, but we will at some point. All right, so let's see. I'll tell you that there's a photo I'm going to show you, because in Waxahachie there's some really cool places, and we're going to highlight them on the next podcast. So if you want to get your room reserved now, and then you ultimately are looking for something maybe a little different or whatever, we stayed at a really cool place there that's like they have a historic district, and they have these houses that have been, they're like Airbnbs, but really unique. And this isn't one of them, but the thing I liked about it was we did pick this one house when we stayed to check it out. It's our team photo. It was a haunted house. I know it was. And our team, we took a little photo in there. And what I will say is that there are a lot of little Airbnbs in that area. So I think that, if you're looking for something different, make sure that you check out the area. And we're good. Thank you. We'll check out that area because there's a lot of cool little things. I think we're going to get into like this haunted house, that kind of park that they have there or something like that. It's like a little haunted forest and a haunted house. And it is October, so that's something kind of cool. Let's see here. John Irvin says, thank you, Joe and Trini, for all this hard work, man.
Thanks,
You're very
man.
welcome, dude. It's a big thing for us. It's in our heart. You guys are in our heart. We wish this thing would have gone on, of course, we're hoping it will, but I mean, that's our motivation, and no different than Clemente was when he was trying to do what he was trying to do. So thank y'all. Thank you for noticing and mentioning it. Moses says, oh yeah, libations for all. Moses. Oh my God. All right. So so we're at 54 minutes. I know we'll wrap it up. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. I'll reiterate that I'm asking you to go to our YouTube channel. Also to subscribe to Trinidad's, it's our YouTube channel. I've got some cool stuff that's coming out. But ultimately, again, it's the Keepers of the Peace National Softball Championships. I will say this. I've had some great conversations through Jeff Blair and his connections with BLD, and I'm absolutely looking forward to putting on another Keepers of the Peace. We've had it before, and we want to put another one on, and we're looking at a BLD, and we definitely will have time to plan for that. So it's going to be cool. So Kevin says, Shock says, Dallas is a great place to visit. Great job, Trini. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that, brother. I know I'm excited. Hopefully, will you be able to make it out there, Kevin? Hoping you will. Lou says, that's what I'm talking about. Salud. Yeah. We'll make something happen, man. Don't worry. Oh, and by the way, since Lou's on here, I'll tell you, we're looking at a home run derby contest, and if with any luck, we might have some cool people show up that are, maybe some highlights to our softball world or softball circuit that might come out. We're going to try to work something out in the next 30 days, but if not, we're going to have some fun out there, man. We're going to have some unique things to make it fun, entertain. I will say this also. We're going to have, we'll talk about the charities here in the next podcast, but there will be some fun things to do. So I know you guys are going to take some money out to Vegas. Don't even try to show up and say, oh, I don't have any money, man. It's cheaper to fly into Dallas. You're not going to gamble, or at least unless you drive to some other casino. It's like an hour and a half away, but it's there.
Some underground card rooms.
Yeah. So, but we will have some fun things to do there at the tournament. So, like the home run derby and a few other things we got planned just to make it entertaining. But we will have some raffles. I'll tell you, we definitely will have a gun or two, and a couple of bats, I'm sure, and then a bunch of really cool things. In fact, Moses, always supporting us in everything we do, he was able to acquire a few items that are pretty impressive. So I think it's going to be a great tournament with a lot. I think it's going to have some neat stuff to it. So we'll do the best we can in the short amount of time that we have. All right. Kevin says, yep, already looking to switch my flights. Got you. And then El Noriega, never been to Dallas. Looking forward to go if Vegas folds. Yeah, man. That's what in fact, I got that a lot, Joe. A lot of people were saying that they're excited about, coming to that part of the nation. They've been to San Antonio, some have, but they haven't been to the Dallas area. So I know Terry Dugan was talking about, if Vegas doesn't go, he's excited, to come to the area. So we'll get more into it later. Let's see. Oh yeah, I know Moses says, "You go, we go."
I need to know if Moses is going to be able to pick me up from the airport when I get in there.
Ooh.
Mo, shoot me a text, man.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to work something out on that note. I know Joe's going to get there a couple of days early to help me out, and Moses said he'd be there also. I think Dan might be talking about coming in a little early, so I might have something special for anyone that's deciding they want to come in a little early or even stay late. I mean, I'm looking forward to hanging out for the weekend after it's all said and done. And hey, I know we only have a couple more minutes, but here's what I'll tell you. You have two choices to make for those that have zero idea about the area. Come in, concentrate on being close to the fields, enjoy each other's camaraderie, check out the few places in Waxahachie. Concentrate on the field aspect, the team aspect of things or whatever, and then stay after and head to Arlington, head to Dallas, and hang out there, for the rest of the weekend, and then fly home. That to me is one of the options. But the other one is if you're in a time crunch and you've got to head back on the weekend, and you want to stay in Arlington or Dallas, that's cool. It'd be a little bit of a drive, and I don't know how predictable that is during work morning hours. That's something to consider. Maybe check out a day in the week and see what the time looks like at that point. But to me, I would concentrate on the Waxahachie area and then go to where you want to go and stay where you're going to stay and enjoy it for what it is on those 2 days.
It's pretty nice and convenient that, if it does go to Waxahachie, that, we're playing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then if you, like you said, you want to stay a couple of days for the weekend, there'll be things to do, which is nice.
And just so you know, I don't know yet exactly. I'm going to find that out here in the next couple of days, but I know I'm going to want to go stay out in that Legacy area. And that's my favorite place to go. Along with over there in Frisco where the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know if you can stay to Sunday, but I think they play there. I think they're playing in Dallas on Sunday. Am I right, Deanna? Did we look that up? I think so. I think the Dallas Cowboys are playing. And at that outdoor area, it's real cool because it's can you bring it up one more time just so they can see it? I've been there, and it is really cool. You'll see where it looks like the football field, well, that's outdoors, and that big screen, this is their training facility. So if you don't get to go into the stadium, you can go to this place and watch the game on the big screen. There's that big outdoor turf football field, and right across the street there's and in that little U-shaped area there are restaurants. And so there's 2-story restaurants across the street. That's where we watched the game, and all the people are out there with their lawn chairs and everything. So that was a pretty neat thing. I think it's Cowboys versus the New York Giants. Ooh, that's a good little rivalry. They like playing each other. That's a good little rivalry. So, hey, there's an example. But yeah, I definitely am gonna wanna if people send me a message. If you aren't a friend of mine on Facebook, you can find me under Trini Trinidad. But if you send me a message, I'll let you know what I'm thinking. And then, hey, who knows, man? Maybe we'll all get together somewhere afterwards and hang out, and maybe I can work something out for everybody afterwards. I can't do it before. There's too much going on. But afterwards, it'd be cool to be able to go. So we're going to include a Facebook link in the description if you want to join me on Facebook. Friend me, and then we'll go. Lyle says, the Hitmen are staying at Casa Trini. He says they'll pitch the tents in the front yard. Watch out for those damn coyotes and all the other stuff that's out here, because I do live in the country, and they're roaming around. So zip up that tent for sure. But now, man, all right. Well, I'm Joe. Anything?
I think we covered everything. I just want to, just let everyone know this is kind of just a heads up of what could be, and then we're gonna make further posts, and we'll have like Trini said, some other podcasts giving more detail of what needs to be done as far as rosters and rules and registration, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right. And like I said, please consider bringing just some extra money to support our raffles that we're going to have there, and home run derby and things like that. We'll have some other fun stuff that we're looking at doing. So, all right, man. Well, hey, Joe, I'll sign off for Joe. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all your hard work. Everyone else that's involved, of course, Deanna, and hey, we'll see you on this next podcast. Hit us up with any other questions, and bring up questions that we can answer on the next show, and we'll get to them, okay? I appreciate you, and this is Trini Trinidad signing off, man. Don't forget, I've got your 6. Don't forget about our conference either. Keepers of the Peace Conference, April the 12th through the 14th. I promise you, you will not leave the same way you walked in, or I'll give you your money back. I can guarantee you it's going to be a great conference. Please don't forget it. All right. Talk to you soon.